absolutely nothing. I've been doing this for a really, really, really long time. I'm not like 60 or anything, but I mean, I've been dating women since I was a kid, okay? I'm 32 now. I have tried everything. I have theorized as much as possible. I have experimented with every dynamic between a guy and a gal. Tried to be like, nah, don't want to put on the friendship tip right now. I want to be the cool dude, the Matthew McConaughey, you know, the fucking chill man. And I realized, you know what? After so much experimentation, being more romantic, first of all, sucks. Doesn't work very well. What's the other thing? How about being more like seductive? That actually doesn't work that well either. And I realized, well, then what works? And finally, I just started relaxing with women. I just started having as much fun as possible with women the way I would any other friend, any other really good friend. And then I saw, holy shit, this entire time, for most of my life, I was fucking up. I was fucking up myself and how I acted. I was being less attractive than I could possibly be. And I was stopping her from being less attractive. Do you know how awkward it is for people to go on a date? You know, the little candlelight, and they have their dinner, and so tell me about yourself. And she's like, well, tell me about your job. How is that? All that does is just create barriers between each other, and it makes it harder for you guys to connect. You guys could go on a date and will never connect, but behind all of that facade of romance or seduction or tough guy or whatever, you guys could have the best relationship in the world, the most attracted, the most sexual, the most freaking just exciting relationship. You would never know it because there's this whole facade on top of I have to do something. And that, oh God, I can't tell you how many years of my life I ruined. Okay, so the first thing that happened is what would happen is I would shoot myself in the foot. I would get too nervous because I felt I had to act a certain way around women that I was attracted to. That would make me nervous. It watered down my personality, and eventually girls that were interested and really attracted eventually just floated away because they were like, something's wrong with this guy. I don't know, he's just boring, or he's insecure. They just felt something bad, you know. Then the other side of it is I would try to like be too cool because I was like, oh man, now I want to be like really dope. I want to be like fucking like the man, Matthew McConaughey, you know. So then I put on that outfit and I tried that out for years. And I mean, things went okay, but I just realized once again I wasn't being my complete self. And one, I was attracting the wrong women. And the second one is that I was pushing away. I was filtering out the right women. They were not noticing me because I was being somebody else, which made the entire dance, the courting, whatever you call it, more difficult. I had to put more effort as well. So any time I am being not 100% myself with the woman that I'm out with, I am making it harder for me, or I'm being more inefficient. I'm attracting the wrong people, and I'm unattracting the right people. And at first, kind of like just coming out and being completely yourself, treating the girl just like a friend, and just having all the vulnerabilities out there, you know, saying those weird, silly things that you usually say to best friends, and you don't really do it on the first date because, oh my God, what if she doesn't like that side of you? What did I realize I did? I gosh, the first time I was like, oh God, I'm ruining everything right now because she's not gonna like me. What if she doesn't like this side of me? I want to kind of like give her the cool side of me, the really like chiseled side of me until she gets to know me, and then I could like land her with my real personality. But all I did was, it just made things harder for me. So it felt really dangerous to do that. And here's another thing. I was making many women, maybe even more women, unattracted to me, doing this, being my real friendly self. But after a while, I started noticing something super interesting. I started dating women that I had more chemistry with than I've ever had in my entire life. It was like ridiculous chemistry. And another thing that started happening is, even though I was letting a lot of girls out, just because they weren't interested in the real me, it happened really quickly, smoothly, easily. And in retrospect, I realized I didn't even really like those girls in the first place. I was turning it into a game, and I merely just wanted to win a game. The game of act like somebody kind of like you, a little bit cooler. See if you could get this girl that looks a little attractive, that you previously weren't really able to attract, and see if you could attract her. And guess what? It always ends up bad anyway. Like, you're always gonna end up breaking up or not staying with each other. So, like, what's the point? And then when I just started fully being my real self with every woman, every date, every time, I quickly got rid of the ones that weren't for me. And the ones that were for me, my God, it's like I couldn't have better chemistry. I couldn't have more fun. The attraction, the sexual attraction couldn't even be stronger. It's like a ridiculous amount of attraction and chemistry. It's like we're inseparable. That is now what I strive for. That's now what I go for. It took me a long fucking time to learn this shit. So many years I wasted trying to be like, how do I not be in the friend zone? I definitely don't want to friend zone this girl. Friend zone? Of course I want to be in the friend zone. I mean, how do we start a relationship? And you may be going like, oh, this guy's only like a relationship guy. He wants to like help you get a girlfriend. Nah. I mean, a relationship for one night, a relationship for 1 month, a relationship for 1 week. It's just so much better to hook up with a woman when the chemistry is so easy. And all that takes is for me to just kind of fight that initial fear of like, what if she doesn't like me? And just kind of push through that. And once you get over that, you realize, man, I am being super efficient, like killer efficient with my dating life. I am just like getting rid of all the girls that would never like me and just attracting all of the ones that it's so easy with. And so the long answer, that was a very long answer to your question, what differentiates a date from a one-on-one with a friend, is, I mean, it's night and day. And there's no, and at the same time, there's no difference at all. If you see a date as like one of those like candlelight, I have to put on my coolness and she has to put on her coolness, everyone's just putting up walls, it's ruining everything. But when you realize that all women that you're hanging out with is a date and not a date at the same time, and you're just trusting that the right attraction will happen with the right people, you're becoming so much more efficient. You're making it easier for you, like 1,000,000 times easier for you and 1,000,000 times easier for her. And the best part is you're actually ending up with the hot, gorgeous gals that you've always wanted to, and that were actually right for you, are right for you, the ones that you actually want, the ones that aren't you're connected to via your ego, but the ones that are you're connected to via your real actual self.